now, Brian Claypool and Andrew Stoltmann. Both are criminal defense attorneys. Brian, let's start with you. So the judge dismissed the manslaughter charge, despite instructing the jury that it couldn't consider the other lesser negligent homicide charge without a conviction on that more serious charge. So the criminally negligent homicide here, or manslaughter, explain how this ended up happening, given what the judge had said earlier.
Yeah, hey, Laura, great to be with you. I mean, look, this is really good news, bad news for Daniel Penny, what this judge did. If you think about it, you've got some jurors. We don't know how many, Laura. It could just be one juror that was hung up. There might have been 11 jurors wanting to acquit Daniel Penny on the manslaughter charge, and maybe just one juror that wanted to convict him. But the fact that there was a hung jury on the more serious charge is not great news for Daniel Penny, because now the judge is saying on Monday they want the jury to hear the lesser charge, right? The negligent homicide's just being reckless, and that caused the death. If you've already got one or more jurors that are hung wanting to convict Penny on the more serious charge, then rest assured, when they deliberate on Monday, they're going to want to convict him on the reckless, negligent homicide. So that's the bad news for Daniel Penny. The best he's likely to do is a hung jury. The good news is he's got some jurors in his camp that hung on the more serious charge. Those jurors are likely to stick with him on Monday. So we're likely to see a hung jury by Monday or Tuesday on a lesser charge.
Now, Jordan Neely's uncle spoke today at the end of the deliberations. Watch.
On behalf of the Neely family, I want to apologize to all the people that was truly afraid for their lives on that train. Jordan Neely didn't have to die that day. Daniel Penny could have went to another cop. Even he has the legal right to do so.
Andrew, I mean, that's emotional, but frankly, it's absurd.
It's absolutely absurd. Look, there's something in the law called the assumption of risk. And when you act like an idiot, when you act like an imbecile, when you intimidate people, when you threaten people, you assume the risk that something is going to happen. Laura, this criminal justice system has completely failed this Marine. From Alvin Bragg bringing these charges in the first place, the lead prosecutor not agreeing to a plea deal with a slap on the wrist, and now this judge who shouldn't have dismissed these manslaughter charges. Rather, there should have been a mistrial in this case. And let's start this entire thing over again, because now I'm concerned that the defendant in this case is going to be convicted on Monday, and that's a miscarriage of justice. It's ridiculous.
I completely agree with you, because, and again, let's remind the viewers what we're talking about here. So they dismissed the more serious charge, but now the lesser charge is criminally negligent homicide. Now, what does this involve? It involves causing someone's death by acting in a manner that was reckless, inattentive, or careless. In addition, if you've recklessly failed to act, and as a result someone dies, you could also be found to have committed criminally negligent homicide. Brian, there almost seems to be a feeling you would intuit among some jurors that, okay, maybe we'll go with that one. That's not Laura, how the justice system is supposed to work here.
Yeah, absolutely, Laura. And that's what I meant earlier. It's like you've got some jurors that are saying, hey, look, they believe Penny consciously was in disregard of Neely's life, knew the risk, still did the chokehold, and therefore he should be found guilty of manslaughter. Do you think those jurors now are going to do a 360? No, like you said, they're going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get him on the lesser charge. But let me tell you one thing, Laura, where this judge messed up, and where there's going to be there should have been a mistrial on this entire case, and Penny's lawyers are going to have a great appeal issue. The judge should have asked that jury why they hung, because there's a legal justification defense for Penny. That's a self-defense. And if this jury agreed that Penny was entitled to self-defense, then he's off on both charges. If that jury hung on the justification issue, then the entire case should have been dismissed. That judge never asked. And that's an appealable, erroneous issue on the judge's part.
Andrew, do you agree with that? That's an excellent point, because then everyone would know, whoa, this is what they actually, this is that they couldn't decide. So how do you go to the lesser charge in that case?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been a flawed process from the very, very beginning. And Lori, you remember this case? Remember the Kitty Genovese case back in 1964, where someone was raped and murdered on the street of New York. 34 people walked past, and there's an international uproar that nobody did anything. Well, guess what? If he's found guilty in this case, we're going to have more instances like that because nobody is going to come to the assistance of somebody who's being harassed and hurt.
Exactly.
This is a miscarriage of justice. I think any common sense view of these facts, to turn this man into a criminal and let all these criminals roam free in the city, that's all we need to see. Brian, Andrew, you're both great. Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.